Welcome back, everybody, to Salty Runback's coverage of the CLOL Championship for 2024. We have got ourselves an elimination match between St. Clair and Fisher College, where Fisher College find themselves up 1-0 after game number 1.
Exactly, in a really well executed game one. Really nice advantage that they were able to find, and a lot of props to the players that we were kind of expecting from, like Jenkins and Keel. They both performing really well, but also trying to bring up that bot lane matchup a little bit, because it was one of the highlights from the previous series. Rockboom, one of the strongest players in St. Clair, if not the strongest, quote unquote. And then this time around, he gets completely dumpstered. A lot of thanks to the effort from Keel, just completely going down there to the bot lane and trying and give Dragon Kim the advantage. But also credit to Dragon Kim. He played really well on a champion that he's had a lot of opportunities to play, and he's been performing really well in that Barris.
Yeah, and I want to see how both of these teams try to play around bot lane coming into game number 2 because of how that went, right? DMK got a tremendous lead, a bigger lead than we see bot laners get in most of these games.
Yep.
And even once lane swap shenanigans get factored in or lane matchups get factored in, it's hard to get that far ahead and to set your opponent that far behind, especially on the Kalista. Felt like that was just kind of a death sentence for St. Clair. For all that they did to fight their way back into it, that deficit, it's just really hard to make up. So I want to see St. Clair either play towards bot lane more or take a more scaling bot lane, or maybe even both, because yeah, just letting them run away with your bottom side of the map and not getting too much for it on the other side just doesn't feel like it's a successful recipe.
Well, this could be something we see depending on if they change sides coming in for the second game. More than likely, they're taking blue side on the second game. So this changes some of the draft dynamics. We're more than likely going to see Riki opting into a much more blind matchup up there in the top lane, and then we will see priority going towards the bot lane. If Barris is level open, that's going to be the first pick for St. Clair. If the Barris gets banned away, then we see another champion. But one thing that I'm surprised with, though, is that we see both Ashe and the Barris on the same team. Like, they were able to pick that up on the side of Fisher for pretty much free, and that's something that a lot of teams do not want to play against, especially if you're not playing lane swap, because that's just such a bothersome matchup to try and play against if you're opting into the blue side, and just like that, they ban away the Ashe.
Alright, so going to look to try to take away that support option from Poom. I think that's a wise choice. That Varus Ashe duo has been something that at all levels of play people are not willing to give up. We'll see what the answer is going to be coming through. Fisher going to take away that Darius, still respecting that pick out of Riki, and I mean that's an accomplishment in and of itself, right? I mean, to get to the point where Jenkins is banning away your Darius, that feels so good if you are Riki LaFleur here. Massive performance from him yesterday.
Exactly. Showing up on that Darius, meaning the ban is going to come through. The Rumble on the other side makes sense against Jenkins. And I'm expecting to see a couple of top lane bans coming through here once again. Maddie's Lilia, though, I think also deserves the respect. Was playing really well yesterday. And before that, also got a victory against Ottawa. So it makes complete sense that it's going to stay staple ban coming here. And now it's where we see a little bit more of the focus. Is Varus going to get banned away? I guess that answers my question. Yep. And also, is Kalista going to stay up as well?
And is Kalista even something you want to first pick when the Varus isn't up anymore? Do you want to start to move into other territory? That's going to be a big question as well. This was a Skarner ban last time. It will be a Skarner ban once again. Trading off who's responsible towards pinching away that pool here, as Fisher College now find themselves on the red side. St. Clair now, first crack at the egg. What do they want? They want the Jinx for Rockboom, and that's exactly what I asked for. I mean, this is a more scaly bot lane, and with the Varus Ashe banned away, they're not quite as at risk. But we'll see if Fisher wants to go for Kalista or something like that.
Senna is a fine enough answer. Does give you the opportunity for Poom to play something that it's not just a straight up support, although Senna Kench was really popular and has been really successful in a lot of the situations. Wouldn't be surprised to see it here in the Nautilus as well. And yep, there it is. I'm not the biggest fan of it, not because it's weak, it's because I dislike the combo. It's boring to see for me. But apart from that, everything fine for Fisher. This can work out greatly. I can see the Temkinch being picked here for Miracle to try and give the protection for Riki, for Rockboom, sorry. But this is going to be Maddie's Bolivar, a champion that he's really good at playing with, and also gives you the potential to go for a dive, or different dives, without having to be threatened by the turret. So I want to see how Matty goes with this Bolivar, as he could even go for the area here.
Yeah, I like to see this mid-jungle duo come through from St. Clair, prioritizing something that they can get repeated reps on towards Rollick with. I think that was a duo that they did a great job of playing through in game number 1. Rollick going to go back to the Talia here. It's a solid pick up against the Ahri, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's immobile, and we got to see how much he could get victimized by the St. Clair mid-jungle duo, just punishing him over and over again in game number 1. I think they're going to be going right back to that well to see if they can get a little more water from it with this Volibear Ahri duo.
And they are coming through now with the Bromban. I think that's a smart approach, considering with the rocks and the Senna, the Bram can come in really conveniently. The K'Sante van, they're respecting Jenkins K'Sante here, and I think it's a respectful van to come through. I would assume maybe something like a Gwen could end up coming through as well, or a Cannon, depending on what you want to play as Riki up there, but those two seem to be kind of risky if you're not careful enough. The Olaf as well, respecting Riki's Olaf. There's a lot of respect shown with Riki's certain picks here, with both the Darius and the Olaf coming through, and another top lane ban here wouldn't be out of the ordinary.
There's going to be that Kennen, so a little bit of respect paid towards Jenkins. He is a godfather of Kennen. He has played so much of that champion over the years, and very few folks are going to be willing to let him pilot it in these kinds of high-stakes games. So, probably going to save last pick for Jenkins. Indeed, they will, locking in that Viego for Keel, giving him a little bit more power as well, knowing that they're going to have a more supportive AD carry.
And now it just leaves for whatever Miracle wants to play. Once again, could be the Tam Kench, there's no reason to not. But it's instead going to be the Renata, so trying to redeem himself on the Renata will have targets that can be really effective to try and make use of the ultimate here. And since there's not going to be an invulnerability in the form of the K'Sante or Olaf, you're going to find value with it. And it's going to be the Renekton. Saw Venator yesterday dumpstering him in the top lane, wants to cosplay Venator and try and do the same here against Jenkins, but he does have the counter pick. Could be a Jax here, wouldn't be necessarily a bad choice. It's the Gnar instead, and that's a champion that Jenkins does like to play quite a bit.
Yeah, so it just gives them a little bit more power in these kind of team fight engagey sort of scenarios. You're really sacrificing a little bit of a powerful engage when you go for something like a Viego. You still have Poom to look back on to be able to land those dredge lines, land those depth charges, and get fights started. But now you also have the addition of Jenkins bouncing in there with the big Gnar combos to try to find some of the Saints unaware. Really like this kind of traditional team fighting comp we've got coming through from both of these sides. This could very well evolve into some very close 5-on-5s, and I'm here for it, TDS.
Yeah, there's no need to get crazy with some of these fights or some of these compositions. Traditional usually can be the best choice, and we saw that yesterday with Winthrop. They turned back on what they were trying to accomplish. They went back to just a normal hyper carry for their hyper carry bot laner, and then a normal top lane for their Brucery carry top lane as well, and it worked out marvelously. This time around they are going for a similar formula. Riki will have impact with Renekton depending on what he does. There's no items for Bakery Boy. That's a great start for St. Clair.
Yeah, interesting. We'll see if he realizes before it is too late. I very much doubt that this is intentional, so gonna be rough for Bakery Boy. Meanwhile, a connected hook from Poom gonna force that cleanse out of Rock Boom at level 1, and St. Clair looking a little out of sorts.
Yeah, and for the second game in a row, St. Clair, or better said Fisher, has had the better reads for the early game in the bot lane. They read, or not necessarily read that Rock'em was going to do this, but they realized that that could be a potential to go for. They go in as the two-man unit, they find the angle, and they find more value. St. Clair has not had the best reads yet in the early stages. They don't even get an early vision inside of the enemy jungle, and it feels weird. St. Clair just simply are not finding those early moves to try and put themselves ahead in the game, and now early on they're going to even lose out on the first minion and some experience for Rockboom here.
Yeah, so I mean, eyes on how Bakery Boy will navigate this early laning phase. He surely knows now if he didn't know before, but that is going to be a rough one for him. Meanwhile, Miracle is hooked back in, takes a little bit of a chunk here. You got to keep in mind that Rockboom did lose out on that cleanse at the level 1 engagement. Shouldn't make too huge of a difference unless a very committed fight breaks out. There's another Dredge Light on towards Miracle, but level 2 will be hit first by Miracle and Rockboom.
Well, by Miracle, Rockboom did lose experience on that first minion, so he's going to be a little bit behind, and we see that with Rockboom not being able to follow up on the play, but Miracle does get a little bit of trading back. No CS just yet for the Nautilus. They are going to try and farm it under the turret and try and play around that. The rest of the map looking pretty normal. I'm surprised Bakery Boy is doing just fine with no items in the mid lane. He's just farming and not really losing out on anything in there.
Yeah, I mean, the Taliyah needs the combos, right? And you're going to start Q, so 4 WEs available, not huge trades. Jenkins taking Ricky so low. Ricky's got to flash away, and wow, Jenkins has been really taking the fight to Ricky LaFleur in this series so far, and that's a very early flash out of the Renekton. Flash back from Jenkins, respecting what the Croc brings to the table, and now neither of them with the tools. Maddie hovering around, not spotted yet. Will he go for the dive?
Maybe they're going to force it.
Oh, stepping in towards the turret aggro for a second. That's not going to stop the flash from Maddie, though, and first blood will be picked up for the Saints.
Yeah, it was a bit scary.
No, don't do my man like that. Meanwhile, Keel is coming in for the gank. Ricky there to fend him off. Okay, we're done at top side. Producers, please. Okay, there we go. There we go. Bakery Boy's got items.
Yeah, it's fine. He gets the items, and he actually even gets back with a little bit of a lead in terms of the items that he can go for. So, you know what? Maybe it was all planned. Maybe Bakery Boy knew this was going to happen and actually wanted to have this sort of advantage. He probably could have played better with more items, but beggars can be choosers. You go for what you get at this point in the game, and already starting off with a great dive, getting that first blood onto Jenkins, blowing flash.
Oh, time to see what an Ahri with items can do. Maddie coming in as well. Big chunks of damage on towards Keel. He doesn't have access to the flash. Neither does Maddie. But here comes the storm. And here comes Bakery Boy. Orb of Deception on towards the jungler. Charm connects onto Rallic. They're not slowing down. They want it all. A third kill to the Saints.
And guess what, Gordo? This early game looking much better for the Saints. Huge early game start. They get advantages in top lane. Oh wait, Miracle.
Now looking for a little bit more. They're going to get pushed backwards. Miracle taking a big chunk of damage. Will be able to get back away in time. Will be able to stay standing.
I was about to feel bad for Miracle because maybe a caster cursed him, but no, it's not going to be the case. He still stays alive. There's nothing to worry about. There's no ignite on anyone, so it's not going to be the worst thing possible. But talking about the advantages, they get 2 kills onto Bolivar. Maddie starting off the game 2-0 really well. A kill onto Bakery Boy as well. Always great to see for the mid laner from St. Clair. And then crucially, Ricky also starting really well. They are going to spot the Bolivar here both in minions and in wards because they have vision. Oh, Miracle.
Out here, they are going to be able to pull them back away. Boom going to be the focus, and Boom will be the first to drop. Maddie gets a killing spree here. All of the kill participation in towards this Volibear. I love the level 1 pathing this guy brings to the table, and he is flexing it on Fisher in game number 1.
Yeah, and it's going to be the kill onto Boom. It goes to the Bolivar, which is not necessarily the best thing. You probably wanted to have this a little bit more onto Rock Boom, but you get the kill, you get a little bit of the farm, you force the teleport as well onto the mid lane from Boom. So all in all, it's this small advantages that maybe can begin stacking up in favor of St. Clair. And now Jenkins looking a little bit aggressive here, does have the wave pulled out and has Mega, so now it's a little bit difficult to even move forward.
Dangerous territory for Ricky here. Is just trying to regen back up, make sure he can secure whatever farm he can. You gotta respect the potential of that Gnar. Throw you into the wall and come in with a huge damage combo. Gets hit by the wall up. He's gonna get pulled back away. Not taking any turret shots, but big damage trade from Jenkins regardless will force out the Dominus.
Yeah, it's ulti for ulti. That means that now there is a slight advantage for Jenkins because of the health bar, but also because with Dominus, trying to dive is a little bit more difficult. But without Dominus, there's better ways to try and thread that. There's no teleport for Ricky either, so this could mean just a bit of plates going in favor of the Gnar up there in the top lane. Meanwhile, Maddie will get the dragon, and this was a constant for St. Clair in their previous games. Even against Winthrop, they were like 9-0 until at a certain point in terms of dragons against Winthrop, one of the better teams. So now collecting their first dragon of the series, doing a really good job at staying up in the objective department and trying to put pressure in the bot side.
Absolutely here. Pathic right over in towards the respawned blue buff out of Keel. I mean, Maddie just putting on a clinic here on this Volibear, making so much happen in the early game. Rallic takes a big chunk from Bakery Boy. Managed to evade that charm, so will stay standing, but again, mid-jungle of St. Clair getting paid out.
It's a charm diff there. If it connects, that probably is a solo kill for Bakery Boy, which kind of is putting us in a spot where Bakery Boy, he's playing really well. He's setting up for the team really well. A really good game with Ari is potentially something to actually be excited for St. Clair, because now one of the last members will be popping up as Ricky may be getting collapsed in here.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure he can get the wave in, but he will get Nard into the wall, and he will be taken down here before too long. Gets the double dash through, but the Heartbreaker from Keel will be enough to close the gap and pick up the first kill of the game for Fisher College.
Yeah, Flash was down at this point, so unable to even get the dash and escape. Now it's back up, so maybe for a future play, but really nice collapse onto the top lane, and they are putting as much advantage as possible into Bob Jenkins' pocket. The other side of the map, though, is looking much better for Sinclair. Oh, Rock Boom. No
back
flash.
in, nice double knockup found by Poom through that depth charge. Handshake back away from Miracle will buy them the space. They are now just trying to get back to their turret in time. Flash in from Poom, another staggering blow, locking down Rock Boom, firing through is DMK. Will not be able to finish off the kill though. St. Clair able to fall back in time.
They don't get the kill, but they get quite a good amount of value down there, lowering a bit of the health bar from Rockman and even forcing him out of the lane, getting the crash into the turret, and taking potentially a play. Really nice trade there. Poom understanding that maybe there was someone in that position, and now re-engaged by Ricky. He does have ulti, and there is Mininar now.
Yeah, getting traded back on quite heavily. Jenkins gets another hyper proc, and Ricky's health bar is now so low. He is in real dangerous territory in this top lane as Jenkins has developed one of these big leads over him yet again. Doing his best to keep his health bar topped off, but look at his CS differential. I mean, Jenkins is winning out on the top side in this one-on-one duel.
Well, that's the kind of thing you get when you get the counter pick and you're able to utilize it to the maximum effect. Now, Maddie is coming back here. Jenkins doesn't seem to think this and may get a collapse zone here.
Maddie collapsing in, has access to the flash, doesn't even need to use it though, will donate the kill over to Ricky, and that's something I really wanted to make sure we got to see out of Maddie here. You don't want to take all the kills on the Volibear, you gotta share some of that wealth.
Yeah, it's great if you're 3-2, 3-0-2, but you need to give those kills to your carries at some point, and they finally give them to Ricky. He's going to get a turret blade here, going to push this wave, and probably get out of there without really fighting anything. Yep, going to be a pretty easy affair there for Ricky, able to escape really easily. Now it's on the rest of the map to see what else they are able to accomplish. Both bot laners, though, level 6 on the side of Fisher. Miracle still not level 6, though.
Should be ticking it here before too long, you gotta believe. Maddie hovering around, does get spotted by that Tribrush ward. So we'll return to farming. You can see he's starting to fall behind. That's just natural for the Volibears of all shapes and sizes. Really wanting to make sure that they can get that early game pressure, use that gank power that you have pre-6 and even post-6. It does mean that you sometimes are not farming quite as much. Has paid off for St. Clair this game as they find themselves with so many kills and 100% KP from the bear in the jungle.
Yeah, they have the advantage in kills. They don't have a huge advantage in gold, but they are really close there. Ricky doesn't have ultimate or flash. This could be a great dive.
Does have a full health bar, but he gets Nard into the wall, and he's not even gets a move now. Keel cleaning up the kill. Great play there by Jenkins to pull the trigger, snap the trap, and finish off for St. Clair.
Yeah, they didn't even need to use ultimates from the Viego nor the Talia. They just simply walked in and got the kill. That's how easy the setup was, but a really good setup at that. Now Kill has ways to escape here, even with Maddie coming by. Bakery Boy has ultimate, so maybe they can try and set up if they really want to.
They're going to commit here. There's the Spirit Rush in. Heartbreaker comes out right away. Bakery Boy forces the flash. Dashes right in melee range, and it's either get charmed or flash away. Keel chooses the latter and will be down that summoner spell.
Yeah, it's respectable what they end up going for there. They try to collapse into Kill. Kill blows the flash, and that means that Robs will be completely open for them. But it's great to see that both teams are just trying to get the moves on each other. Like, they are not just waiting on one side or waiting to see what the other does. They are trying to be proactive, trying to get their moves going, and trying to get the better out of each other, which is a really nice thing to see, especially considering what the expectations were coming on to today.
Absolutely. This top jungle duo for Fisher that we were highlighting that have been the rocks for them. The experienced duo. They play together on Fisher. They play together in NACL with TL Challengers. And playing together there to get these kills on towards Ricky and start Keel being a potential carry force on this Viego.
Also has been able to keep himself up in farm. Maddie has been active in the map, but at the very least, Keel has been able to keep the farm really effectively here, and that's why he's not that far behind to Maddie when it comes to gold.
Absolutely. Getting that farm, getting those kills means that he has stayed competitive and now going to be clearing out his own blue buff this time around. Maddie not going to be able to repeat that steal, not going to be able to cycle back towards Keel's camps. With one dragon apiece, not going to be too much to focus around bottom lane for, despite the fact that that is where the St. Clair mid jungle find themselves. Jenkins going for more aggressive trades up against Ricky, getting more turret plates in towards his own inventory, and this Gnar really starting to feel like a force to reckon with at the top lane.
Yeah, the Gnar feels scary, but you have to consider the Gnar also that his Mega Gnar is going to be the biggest factor, so we have to see how Jenkins, obviously he's capable, but how he sets up for the team fights when they come through. Now, we do have two dragon apiece here for Fisher and St. Clair, something that happened in the previous game as well. And we need to see who's going to be more willing to opt into the fights for the dragons. It's going to be Chemtech, not everyone's favorite soul to fight for, but it's still a soul that can have a lot of value depending on how you use it.
Really can here. It's now hanging around towards that top side with the Rift Herald spawning. Top lane going to be where the fight starts off. Jenkins taking a lot of minions here. Ricky able to return some damage in his own right. Goes in for the slice of dice. Maddie's in the area. Backup available for both teams. Super Mega Death Rocket connects only on towards Coom. Keel advancing forward, loses half his HP, gets hand shook. There's going to be Rowlet coming in with a cutoff. Only going to cut off Bakery Boy, though, and he moves back and forth over those walls with ease. St. Clair going to be able to stay grouped together, and it looks like they're going to be the ones who pick up this Rift Herald.
Yeah, that ends up being a pretty good demonstration of everyone is here, everyone in the top lane trying to fight for the Herald. It's going to go pretty easily into the hands of St. Clair. There is a teleport by Jenkins to try and just be able to push down onto the bot side, and it's going to take a while for Rockboom or Ricky to even be close to the top lane, as maybe they are attempting a dive here onto Bakery Boy. No ultimate, does have flash.
Maddie going to find BMK there, gets snared up by the last embrace, has Keel at his back as well, going to have to jump over the wall with the Stormbringer. Will get away. Bakery Boy hovering around as well, gets hit by that Spectral Maw, while Jenkins going to look to try to claim a first turret gold for the squad with this TP into the bottom lane. Ricky going to do his best to stop him.
But they are getting first turret gold everywhere anyway. Like, Jenkins, the only thing is that he's trying to run away as the minion because he knows that he can lose this fight. But in terms of turrets, they are doing their job really, really well. There is flash on Ricky.
Yeah, flash in from Ricky. Flash returned by Jenkins. If this stun connects, Ricky can look for the kill. Ricky LaFleur, solo kill up against Bob Jenkins, chases him to the ends of the earth and picks up the kill.
He followed up until the end and able to find the kill really, really well there. They have the Herald, so they can get actually a double push here. This first one to take down the first turret, and then the second one onto the inner turret. With Rally coming in and also with Keel coming in, I think maybe a little bit too much overstepping from Ricky. He's probably going to get collapsed, and yep, he did.
Yeah, great layering of the rocks there from Rallick. Ricky trying to sustain through it, though. Manages to get a big Call the Meek, but will get hunted down and taken out by Keel. Now Poom coming in for the cutoff, but might be outnumbered. Stun comes on across from Maddie. Zap over the wall. Here comes that hostile takeover. Connects onto two members.
Buddy,
gets DMK to auto-attack Poom, but it's Maddie stuck on the wrong side of the map with a fat shutdown on top of him. Keel wants that money, but Maddie is still running for it. Still just a little bit too quick. He's going to take a turret shot, and he can't survive it. Shutdown gold to Maddie.
He tried to be cute around it, but it doesn't work. Shot down onto Maddie, and that's a really important shutdown. We need to remember they are ahead on the side of Fisher in terms of how they are finding the scales, and I'm honestly surprised that Ricky decided to go there thinking that nobody was going to respond, and then just gets completely collapsed on. He finds a really good solo kill, but you still need to respect the rest of the team. They are still there to try and collapse on top of you. And with that kill, they are able to put themselves back ahead in terms of gold. They have really good control of the map in the side of Fisher.
And what a jungle matchup that we've seen here, right?
Yep.
Both of these guys with 100% KP nearly. St. Clair no longer there after the Ricky LaFleur solo kill. But we'll call it near 100% KP for Maddie. And that's just been where all the plays have been driven from. Heal, though, going to be the stronger carry force. See if they're going to be able to make up for the fact that St. Clair's got a little bit more kills with the amount of value that they provide for heal.
Dragon already started. Mininar for Jenkins, not yet having Mega set it up. Oh, Maddie taking a huge trade.
Yeah, Maddie
here.
getting pulled back in. He's going to get one shot. He gets bailed back out to be able to return the damage.
Ooh.
Does get saved, but will drop anyway. First reset of the fight comes through for Keel. He's going to be in the Volibear form. He managed to take down Ricky. He gets another reset. Takes out Ricky. Diving forward. Keel's resetting through the fight. Looking for the fight up against Bakery Boy now. It's a triple kill to Rowlick, and Keel will not drop. Fisher College take the fight.
Yeah, really good fight. But guess what was down in this fight? First of all, Maddie gets completely picked up immediately, gets bursted out, no chance to survive. Keel gets a couple of resets and is able to turn around the situation. But the biggest thing here, St. Clair is fighting with no Renata ultimate. It just came back up. Miracle has been really bad at using these timings or the right timings for the ultimate. And St. Clair has been really bad at understanding that they don't have a Renata ultimate. That is a game-winning ultimate, but you're fighting without your Renata ultimate. It's not the best choice, and with that, Fisher just played the fight perfectly well. Huge props to them, and they are finding the right tools to make the fight work out.
Yeah, and they're getting so much value out of this Viego.
Yeah.
Being able to find those resets. He got taken so low so early on, but the first body hits the floor. It has St. Clair colors on it, and that means Fisher College can just keep resetting and win on out. A massive performance there. And now St. Clair find themselves at a gold deficit despite all their efforts in the early game.
Well, Keel is here, 2 levels ahead, and they have multiple members here as well.
Fishing with the charm there, not going to be enough, and now Maddie getting chased down here. The wall off from Rowlick. He's got so much money off the last fight, and once again, it's Maddie getting focused down. Hostile takeover connects onto multiple members, but it's no use. There's no teammates. Jenkins will finish off Miracle, and Fisher College take another 2-0.
It's like Fisher never played against Maryville the previous day, and now Rogum did take down the turret, so that means that he can run away, but everyone is just here. Oh, wait.
Missing out on that charm. Bakery Boy not going to quite be able to take out Keel. Now the push continues to come on through. Setting through mid. Super Mega Death Rocket. Not going to connect. Fisher
It hasn't been the game for the Super Mega Death Rocket so far.
Nope.
Do we need to talk about them going forward, maybe?
Yeah, he's just not been able to find a single one. It's been tough for Rock Boom to... I mean, he's barely participated in any kills, but with all the farm being funneled into him, we don't want to forget about him in these fights. He will be a late-game hyper carry, but yeah, I mean, getting some kills with that rocket definitely helped getting him there.
Yeah, he's still Rockboom. He is still quite strong as the AD carry at this point. The problem is that they need to find more avenues to make him get extra gold, because right now he's pretty much equal to the Senna, and the Senna is a support. That's a really big worrying factor. You want to have your AD carry be stronger than the Senna, not equal to the Senna. And now he does complete the IE, so now team fighting as Rogum is going to be much better. He's going to hurt when he hits those ultimates, or those auto attacks actually, but the rest of the team is feeling really weak in comparison. Maybe Bakery Boy actually doing a little bit of damage as well.
For sure. See how they try to approach here as the Baron is on the table, and Fisher College have got the vision control. Maddie leading the charge in, not going to be able to find the stun. Keel was waiting in the wings. Boom going to get this started, but he's getting focused down, and the rest of his team are not going to be able to back him up. Ricky finishes off that kill, and St. Clair now have a numbers advantage.
They have the numbers, and maybe even more here. They're waiting on the side. There is an ultimate that they could have... Oh, wait, Keel.
Wow, Keel stepping forward so aggressively, trying to be able to take out a kill. Won't be able to find anything. He will be able to fall back. Jenkins, meanwhile, has been pushing on the bottom side. He will claim an inner turret.
I think they're going to try to force Baron here because they know that Jenkins is down there with no teleport, but now Keel is still alive. He has ultimate. He doesn't have flash though. They are going to take a little bit longer, and they used everything before. Maybe Keel can try and steal this.
And they wait out the miss. Charm connects over the wall onto DMK, but there is no follow-up. And there's going to be a one-shot onto Bakery Boy. The Baron has fallen to Maddie. St. Clair have got it, but they got to get away with the buffs. Rock Boom is sectioned off. He is going to be taken out by DMK. And now Maddie and Miracle clutching each other, trying to stay safe, trying to stay alive, but they are cut off from their base. The Baron recall from Maddie. Will it come through in time? The rocks connect. Rallic has stopped him, and they're going to take out everybody except for Ricky LaFleur. Fisher College with a complete punish on the Baron.
It was so close, yet so far for Maddie to escape. There only one Baron buff remaining. And there's the thing, St. Clair's idea is not bad, but when you commit every ultimate in the book to even try and get the kill before, and then you go for the Baron buff, guess what? You're not going to have tools to even be able to turn around a fight. Ricky does skip the Baron buff. The Genji Baron buff is going to not have the biggest value, but at the very least you get someone with it.
You do get somebody. What can Ricky accomplish with it? That's going to be the question. Big influx of gold, but the fact that they got 4 kills back on the other side is going to offset that. It looked like such a good setup from St. Clair, but Fisher are able to execute on the fight, one-shotting Bakery Boy before it even gets started.
Yep. Trying to one-shot him, or trying to do something around it, it's just not as effective. There is Super Mega Dead Rocket, maybe Rock'em attempts it. No, not even that. I think giving up the dragon makes the most sense here. You have no tools to even be able to fight it at this point. Just try and get Rock Boom to the 3rd item power point. I think that's what St. Clair needs to do at this point of the game, because that's kind of your win condition. Also, what the hell is Bob Jenkins building? Went for it. Okay, this is actually funny. I want to know if that works.
The Terminus with the...
Yeah, Terminus on the Gnar. Is that the new Blade of the Ruined King Gnar?
I've definitely seen it before. Like, if you're looking for a little bit more of a split pushy build, you can go Terminus.
Okay, fair.
And yeah, I mean, with the Trinity Force as well, it looks like that's where Bob Jenkins is indexing. He doesn't care about being like a tanky frontliner. That's Poom's responsibility. He's the farming Nautilus. They're going to be on split push duty all day.
He is technically tanky anyway, so it probably doesn't affect much of his attempt at going into the backline. It just like looks kind of funny when you think of Gnar and then you look at Terminus. That's just a funny part at it. But pushing on to the side lane that you were mentioning, nobody close to respawn. Rockmoon trying to find something out there. Rallic may get collapsed in here, but I think that he's perfectly fine. Or is he actually?
Ooh, there's going to be the follow-up on towards Rallic. Ricky looking to collapse on towards him. Will be able to pull it back out of position, and Ricky gets the shutdown gold. 1,000 gold into the St. Clair top laner.
Rockmoon probably wanted that with the rocket, but not able to get it still. Ricky getting 1,000 gold. Somebody needs to respond to Jenkins though on the side lane. They are sending Bakery Boy as quickly as possible, but he's taking this turret down really quickly.
Focusing in towards that inner turret. Defense from Poom. That's going to be last embrace on towards 3. A massive depth charge. Hostile takeover going to try to section off the MK on the other side, but he is able to cleanse back out of it. The fight breaking out on both fronts, but it's a 3 versus 4. Health bar's low for St. Clair, though. They try to back on out of here. Dredge line connects. It's on towards Ricky. Handshake going to fend him back away. Jenkins still pushing in the base. Will take out a whole damn inhibitor for Fisher College. And meanwhile, St. Clair, they've still got to be worried about getting out of this fight. They're engaging forward on towards Keel. They get the slow. They get the stun. They get the shutdown for Ricky LaFleur. More gold funneled into the Crocodile, but the split push has been stopped on the other side. TP now being channeled by Ricky. Rockroom getting cut off. He's going to be the first one to fall. The dash backwards will take out Maddie. Bakery Boy has got to come through with the damage. Looking to finish off Poom. Will get the reset, but DMK has arrived. He's stunned on up. He is absolutely one shot by Ricky. Another charm from Bakery Boy. St. Clair take the fight.
They take the fight because Jenkins is pushing on the side all the meanwhile. But even if you win that fight, Jenkins is just getting more gold for the team. He's even going to be able to push into the base if he wanted to, but it's not going to turn out like that. That being said, important gold funneling. The biggest issue though is that there's no gold that Rogum gets. Rogum dies at the start. He gets no shutdowns, and now Jenkins trying to kill Ricky.
Yeah, dodging out on that boulder, going to be huge, and he will get off of the blast code in time. Ricky is home free, and Ricky is so wealthy. Let's look at what he buys here. He just got so much gold, at least 1,700s off shutdowns alone. 4,000 gold in his inventory, and he just dropped 3K on something big. It's the Spear of Shojin.
You swear that Rogum is biting his fist at this point because he 100% wanted at the very least one of those. That could have been the third item for the Jinx. Really unlucky that he gets none of it, but maybe this could be Ricky being able to kill Dragon Main Kim or Raglig in the backline, and that could be the game-winning play, right?
I mean, he certainly killed DMK in that last fight. Just
Yep.
blew him up. I thought for sure DMK was going to be able to hunt down these last kills. He's full HP. He's got 3 items. You'd think he'd be able to work through them. Absolutely not. Ricky says no way.
Ricky is really living up the series with the top laners being the carries because Jenkins maybe 1 and 3, but he's doing a really good job in general in the team. He's doing so much to try and push forward gold for the team and trying to split push. And then Ricky 7-4, he really is the one that puts on the carry pants this game to try and allow for everyone to be really strong. Now Dragon spawning in 46, Ricky may be getting collapsed here though he doesn't know.
Sure here. Baron buff. It approaches. It's on the way. It'll be on the table yet again. Vision already secured for Fisher. St. Clair, the first ones towards that side of the map. You got to be worried about this Dragon Soul, though, spawning in 30 seconds.
Jenkins will lose Mega Narf for it, though.
Coming on in. A little bit of a chunk from Bakery, but into Meganar. He's going to be able to stay strong. Bakery dashes in with the Spirit Rush. He's got Maddie coming in on the side. The focus is going to be on towards Poom. Poom flashes out to safety. And that's 2 ultimates down for St. Clair, traded for the flash of Poom.
It's flash down for Poom, but it is ultimate for Maddie. He is going to be squishy in here. Oh, Reiki going to take a big trade. But this should be a free Dragon with no Poom, I think.
Looking like it. Poom TPing over.
Baker Boy's
be able to join up on the fight. It will be a 5-on-5. The call being channeled by Bakery Boy will get interrupted, and it's going to come down to a smite fight. It looks like Poom with a massive depth charge over the wall, absolutely eradicating St. Clair. Poom does it all. It's a triple kill to Rowlick, and Fisher College just secured themselves the soul.
And yes, even though they blew Poom's flash, who the heck cares if he has a blast cone to just jump over the wall and get the dragon? Perfect play there by Poom. Nobody, and I mean nobody, expecting it to work out like that. And just like that, Fisher more than likely closing out this game. The resources were given to the members, but they just simply answered in the best manner possible, and they destroyed St. Clair where they were shining in the team fight. St. Clair never knew what was hitting them, and now it's game point for Fisher.
What an engage by Poom. Just closes the game out in an instant. Where St. Clair were fighting their way back, Poom just says no way. He slams that door shut, and it's match point now for Fisher.
Yeah, and the people that predicted St. Clair, the only 3 people that predicting Fisher are smiling at this Fisher roster because they are playing like they didn't before. Realistically, nobody, apart from maybe those 3 and the Fisher players, were expecting this to come through like this, and they are delivering so well so far. Huge props to the players, huge props to Dragon Main Kim that has been playing great, but also Poom and Kill that they are players with the experience. We were expecting them to come up, but now they really are showing up to what people were expecting from them.
Yeah, and a massive game from Rowlick, the substitute coming into mid lane as well. He gets a lot of passes sent his way from Keel and from Poom in that last fight, and he makes them count. Great job to be able to clean up all of those kills, sets up the seismic shove perfectly with that engage in the last fight, and that's why he gets cashed out with the triple kill. Just did such a ridiculous amount of damage towards every single member of the Saints that they just have no chance to respond, and the game's over right there.
Yeah, and I'm beginning to think for the Saints, after these performances, just put Miracle off of the Renata. There's no shame in not playing the Renata. It's fine if you're not able to. That's completely fair. But it's not working out for them, and it's taking a hit on both their bot lane play and then on their mid game play. That's a huge thing for St. Clair, and I think they just need to take a step back. The same thing as what happened with Winthrop. Take a step back, realize this is not working to your strengths, and just try to play for what made you strong in the series that you won, in the games that you won. Try and go back to that, and that can be the good turnaround for them, because so far it's all Fisher College.
Completely agree. I'm a big Ricky Lafleur fan. I think we all are after this run, but the St. Clair bot lane have been invisible throughout this series, and they are going to need them to show up and be influential if they want to fight back in this series. We're going to throw it to a quick break here while we get ready for game number 3. We will see you guys shortly as we get into our next draft.